Uh, what was I gonna say? Is there anything else non-related to masculinity you want to talk about?
Okay, you cut out. Can you say that question one more time?
Is there anything not related to masculinity you wanted to talk about?
Oh, hmm.
Well,
Um,
it just can't be Israel Palestine. I'm not ready for that conversation.
Wait, so we can talk politics.
You could, yeah, I'll let you talk politics, but you just not Israel Palestine, please, for the love of God.
Do you like Johnson, whatever his name is, and Mike Johnson, the most basic white guy name in the world?
Oh my God, I've just started hearing about this guy. Doesn't
The
it?
new speaker.
Holy crap! He has like no record, like he has no record in politics, like beyond all his policy positions, which I'm sure we'll get to. This man has no experience. Why is he the fourth most powerful person in the United States? What is happening?
Because he loves Donald Trump, and that's all that matters.
Okay. Do you wanna go into some other things about Mr. Mike Johnson? I've only heard a couple things, but you know.
Well, I mean, a big qualifier. He needed to have this to be eligible for the job. Huge on the resume. Um, Total insurrectionist, wanted to overthrow the government and institute Donald Trump as president, even though he lost the election. I mean, if you don't have that on your resume, you're not even a consideration.
Yeah. I think everyone just figured out which political side we're leaning on, you know? Oh, this is stressing me out.
He's a big anti-gay guy. Uh, has one of the few pieces of legislation he's ever introduced in the House was like a nationwide ban on gay marriage.
Nice.
Of course, it didn't go anywhere, but yeah, that's one of the few pieces of legislation he actually introduced.
Awesome.
Um,
This guy just gets better and better, you know?
yeah, complete anti-abortionist. There's no exceptions, no time frame, nothing. Just banned completely.
So
Um,
so here's the thing about that. I heard he said that because he says every woman should produce at least one American worker. And I heard that's an actual quote from him. And I
Jesus
just
Christ.
can't believe anyone would say that. Like, what do you mean?
He's just, yeah, he's. Speaking of the word toxic, that's him.
I can't even, yeah, I don't know. This Mike Johnson guy, I think that he might be a bad dude, you know?
Yeah, um, extremely. And
Who's the other guy? Kevin McCarthy.
Kevin McCarthy was the previous speaker.
Yeah, it's weird. You made me miss Kevin McCarthy, you know? I want him back.
Imagine wanting Kevin McCarthy back. Um, I guess we'll see what happens in our current House of Representatives, but the silver lining in my head is just like what happened to Kevin McCarthy. I have a feeling this guy is going to destroy his reputation on all sides of the Republican caucus and have no career after this.
Well,
So we'll see.
it's because the Republicans are essentially two parties right now. That's why. Two parties that refuse to split.
Yeah, in many ways that's true, and he needs to, like McCarthy, he needed to pander to both groups of Republicans, and he found that he couldn't keep promises to both because they were so different, and
Exactly.
they all hated him. And if Mike Johnson wants to get anything done, that's what he's going to have to do. Otherwise, they just can't. There won't be enough votes, and that's going to cause problems once both sides figure out that he promised them both the world, if that's
Yeah.
what he does.
They should just coalesce. They should just, 'split into two and then just coalesce on everything.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out for the
Yeah.
next year.
It's also better because then they can't do weird shit like try to start an insurrection if they coalesce. Because the normal Republicans aren't gonna fly. It's not gonna. They're gonna be like, no, you can't. All the judges that we appointed said that he didn't cheat. That Biden didn't cheat. So I guess he didn't cheat.
Maybe, but even the moderate Republicans there were a few, but the majority just stood by. Like Trump said, what did he say? Stand by, stand back, stand by, or something like that. I mean, the Republicans took that to heart. I mean, yeah, the moderates didn't do anything barely to oppose the wing that tried to overthrow the election. The very few that did are not in government anymore. They lost their seats in the House, and the ones in the Senate are on their way out. They're run again. So I don't know if there are Republicans who are willing to, even if they somehow separated, if they would be willing to do that. I don't know, but recently they haven't.
Yeah. I mean, there'd be a few, right? What's his face? The Mormon one.
Mitt Romney, but yeah, he's leaving. He's done.
Yeah, he said he's leaving because he's getting too old. He's a principled guy. I don't agree with anything he says.
Yeah.
But he's a principled guy. I can respect him.
Yeah. You definitely get the idea that he believes what he says and he tries to live by his values, unlike many politicians who definitely do not live by their stated values.
I mean, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who says she believes in family values and then like cheats on her husband with their trainer.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a nightmare. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was also thinking. I'm gonna think about this on air.
Okay.
Do you want to, when the election comes around, do like a podcast, a special version, non-podcast?
Hell yes.
Yeah, we'll like go through all our votes and stuff like that, and
I'm down.
yeah,
Let's do it.
we'll go through who we would at least we would all vote for, and then
Okay.
and we could have a couple other
Sounds
people
good.
on who are like more politically inclined. But yeah,
That would be fun.
Mhm.
I would be down for that.
sweet. Mm. All right.
I always enjoyed election season. But part of that's because I like politics, and part of that's like my political science nerd side of me. And so anything involving elections is always fun for me. So, down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You know me. I'm always down for some controversy too. So, although I don't think me and you are gonna have a whole lot difference. There might be like, I think I'm a little more populist than you, but a little less populist than most people.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah, that's probably true.
I'm like, you're like 1%. I'm like 5%, and most people are like 20% populist.
There's probably some truth to that for sure.
Yeah.
We're definitely more. Both of us are definitely more on the substance over, like performative side of things for sure.
Yeah, I was talking to my mom. My mom gets really upset whenever I tell her that I think Joe Biden is the greatest president of my lifetime. And then I ask her, like, what is a policy that you don't like? And she can never name one. She's like, what do you mean? He can't even say words. And I was like, he can sign good bills, I guess, then, So that's what matters. Policy, policy, policy. She doesn't like that.
I mean, unfortunately, that's I think the way most people see things. I think most people who hate Joe Biden for whatever reason have no idea what his policy positions are or what bills he supports and doesn't support. There are some who do, and they just simply disagree. But I think most have no clue, and they just watch the compilation videos of him, stuttering or messing up a word, and they're like, oh, dumb, and then that's like all they can think about.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that he actually does have a stutter. Like on top of him being
Yeah,
like 900 years old,
yeah,
um, he like does have
absolutely.
a stutter, so it doesn't help his gaffes. But like, yeah, like he is getting pretty old. He's
Mm.
there's some times when he actually doesn't know where he is. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, he's the oldest president we've ever had in history, so yeah,
yeah,
he's really old.
yeah. Uh, but yeah, I think even on the left, some people don't like Joe Biden, and I'll be like, "What policy did he pass that you didn't like?" And they can't even name anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just be like, "Yo, he's the most progressive president we were ever gonna like actually elect." Like, and he's way more progressive than like we thought he was gonna be. I thought he was gonna be another Obama, and Obama was just like basically like a fucking wet noodle. Okay, I really, I mean, he's better than all the Republican ones, but I really don't like Obama's presidency. If you look back on it, it was mostly just like war crimes and fighting for the one policy he passed, which was the Affordable Care Act,
Which was hugely beneficial to society.
but he gave up Roe v. Wade to do that. He gave up codifying Roe to do that. That's the
Well, would it have ever been codified? I don't know.
that's what everyone analyzes and says he was realistically he probably could have codified Roe and maybe done like one more thing instead of pass the healthcare. But it took so much political capital to pass the healthcare, then it was just it was gone by the time. Yeah.
Well, he got fucked in the midterms, and eliminated his ability to pass anything, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, same with that's what's happening to Joe Biden right now too. I mean,
Yeah, but it wasn't even close. Though.
Yeah,
the amount of seats that the Democratic Party lost after the first midterm of Obama's presidency was like out of this world. Biden didn't experience anything like that.
No.
Because it's so close, because it was like so not bad, we've got to fight. If it was like what happened to Obama, there'd be no fight. The Republicans would be running the show completely. But now they look like idiots because it's close enough.
Yeah, because they shut down the government because they couldn't agree on who should lead them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly it is also crazy that you need a majority and not a plurality. I feel like that's a flaw in our system. Like it should just be like, okay, everyone's gonna vote, and whoever gets the most votes, that's who we're gonna elect.
Yeah, I have to think about that. Because I feel like there are potential negative outcomes that could come from that, where like from the right wing side, even like how a few extremists could put the left wing party in power, and like obviously my policy positions would benefit from that right now, but like in the long run, would that be what I want? I don't know.
Well, whose fault is that? You just gotta vote for the same person everyone else is voting for.
Like, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, the same way president works, right? Technically, like it is a plurality to be president. It's just it seems like it's basically ends up being a majority because of our two-party system.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I wonder. I don't know what they would do. Actually, that is a good question. If like there was a third party that got enough, that won a couple states and made it so neither the Republican or the Democratic Party got the 270 electoral college votes. I wonder what would happen, because I actually don't know. That would be interesting.
Yeah, they would need to change the rules because otherwise the government would be in perpetual shutdown. There'd be no way to do anything because everyone's just gonna vote for their candidate. Why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, the Obama thing, the rise of the Tea Party was crazy and so fucking destructive to this country. And we're lucky that we didn't have something as bad as that happen now.
Yeah.
But we'll see this next election. It's gonna be fun.
The Teen Party seems nice compared to the new Republicans, or now new Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Another good quote I've heard from somebody is, most people don't know what fascism is. They just don't like the word. If you describe fascism without using the word, they'd probably really like it.
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
Yeah, as long as their guy, their you know, their stuff, whether that's their race or their political values or whoever was like the ruling party, they would be like, yo,
Yes.
yo, this is great.
People love to have their ideology implemented with no regard for the rest of society. And they are totally happy to have, like, for Donald Trump supporters, would be totally happy to have all elections ignored, all opposition ignored, all checks and balances from the judiciary ignored, and just have their policies implemented without any opposition. And they will call out fascism all the time, say how horrible it is. Meanwhile, that's exactly what they want.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else? What else we got? You got anything else? Yeah.
Oh yeah, anyone watching this in the next few days, Halloween party at my house, let's go.
Yeah, I think I don't have a lot of viewers yet, so yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm not gonna lie. I look so good today with my Mortal Kombat costume.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Well, one day when you become extremely famous, someone's gonna watch this episode and they're gonna hear about this party. The fuck, only I was a fan before, and I could have partied with Davin.
That's true. Oh my god. Okay. All right, I think it's time to wrap up. I'm probably gonna separate this into 2 videos and then just do like the 20-minute B-roll of us like gaffing. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like us riffing on riffing about politics.
yeah. That it makes sense to separate the 2.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to offend any of the Trumpies in your audience.
I don't want to do that because they're going to be really into our thing. Okay. All right.
Well,
yeah, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me on. That was awesome.
Good.
Yeah, I'm excited for whenever we do our next one.
Okay. Yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate you coming on and filling in the lineup. Okay.
Sweet.
All right. I'll see you on Saturday. Okay.
All right. See you Saturday. Have a good night.
Yep. You too. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.